Alright, what is going on, guys? It is Benny, and today I'm going to be making my favorite video that I make every single season, and that is going to be the top 5 best mortar decks for this season. Now, I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to use every single one of these decks. To start us off, we're going to be using Mortar with Evo Wizard and Evo Knight. And now, with this deck, guys, if you want to run Evo Mortar, you totally can. This deck was amazing last season, and I felt like it's a great counter to the Evolved Goblin Giant, so that's why I wanted to use it. And I'm just running the normal, variant that everybody uses, but feel free to use Evo Mortar. I would keep Evo Print or Evo Wizard in this deck, though, not Evo Prince. I don't know what I'm thinking there, but I would 100%, I would not take Evo Wizard out of this deck. I would just keep Evo Wizard in, and then you can mess around with Knight to change your Evos around if you would like. And also, guys, Dagger Duchess is cheeks now, okay? So screw Dagger Duchess, let's play Prince in this deck. All right, we're gonna have to do a Wizard here, and can we get the Knight in front? Oh my goodness, thank goodness. Okay, and so the trick to this deck, guys, is keeping your Wizard alive, almost as if you're keeping your little Prince alive or your Musketeer alive in a deck like Mortarbait. You want to keep your Prince alive as long, oh my goodness, you want to keep your Wizard alive as long as possible. I don't know why I keep saying Prince, guys. That is crazy. Now, as well, I'm going to ignore that E-Wizard because I just don't feel like dealing with it. But as well, guys, I just got back from Vancouver, so I missed the last, 4 days. So if you guys left a comment and I didn't see it, I'm really sorry. I promise you guys, if you want to re-ask any questions that you asked that I might have missed on this video, I promise I will respond to every single comment and, answer those. Whatever the question is, I got you guys. Now, he's going to go for the Giant there. That is crazy. This guy is absolutely cooked because I don't know what he's thinking with that. So we're just going to let the Phoenix take that out, and that is amazing. And you'll see here, I have the Wizard. So all I'm going to do is start the Wizard in the back. And that's honestly what you want to do 90% of the time, is just slow push with your Wizard. What is this guy doing? This guy is playing like a bot. He's just like bridge spamming with a deck that is not bridge spam. I don't know why he's playing Giant Prince, and then he's playing it like it's bridge spam, because with Giant Double Prince you want to really make a slow push. Let's get the Miner on the tower here. The Evo Knight is going in, and instead of using the Mortar, I'm actually going to go for a Demolisher here. I just feel like that would maybe be a little bit more effective than the Mortar, because he has the Dark Prince, the Firecracker. The Firecracker is definitely an annoying card to deal with when you have a Mortar down. Let's go ahead and play the guards here. We're just kind of kiting everything, keeping that Evo Wizard alive as long as possible. Then we can go ahead and play the Knight in front, and now we're going to Mortar, and that's the go-to push. Wizard, Knight in front, and then Mortar in the middle, and you're going to take the tower every single time as long as you get that push down. Let's go ahead and get a Goblin Curse here. We haven't really used one yet, but now is the perfect timing, and you can use the Goblin Curse defensively most of the time. Honestly, I think that's really strong, but we're going to get a really good win here, and that definitely shows you guys that this is the perfect deck that you guys can play. So let's go on into the next. Alright, you guys, for our next deck, we're going to be running Mortar Control with Prince. Now, this is an amazing deck. It's obviously the Minor Poison meta, which is crazy, and we're using Evo Bats, which is also a ton of fun. He's going to Mega Knight first play, which is messed up, and now we actually are using Prince in this deck after we had a painstaking first matchup where I kept saying Prince for even the Tower Princess. I was saying Prince wrong. Come on, man, what's going on with Benny? That's what happens to when you go on vacation. You know what? I gotta, no more days off for Benny. We gotta stop that. But this deck is amazing. Prince is amazing in this deck. I honestly love it. It is a ton of fun, and I would 100% recommend it. Let's go ahead and log here. Also, guys, we hit 2K while I was away on vacation, which is amazing. That was honestly the best thing ever, to be out with my friends and to see I hit 2K. You guys are amazing. I honestly never expected to hit 2K. I didn't even expect to hit 1K in my first year, let alone hit it in the first 8 months of my channel. So I can't thank you guys enough. This guy's gonna P.E.K.K.A there, which is actually rude. So we're gonna go ahead and start the little Prince here in the back, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna play the Bats, and we're gonna play them really quickly, because I don't think he's gonna be ready to zap instantly, and then we'll just get a little bit of damage. He's gonna Hog Rider, so this guy's cooked. I don't know what he's thinking there. I don't know why he played the Hog Rider before the zap, unless he didn't have it in rotation, but I feel like he would have. We're gonna go ahead and let that Hog Rider get one hit. I'm not too worried about that. Please not two. Okay, then we would have had to be worried. But then what we're going to do is we're going to Prince, and then if he goes for that Mega Knight, then we're going to play the Evo Bats, and I don't think he'll have a counter for that because he used a zap. Boom, go in, Evo Bats, and then our goal is to get a Miner here. He has arrows, so that's crazy. Okay, we're just going to log, and we're going to leave it at that. Now, the goal with this deck is to try to spell bait and then take advantage of it using your Evo Bats. And also, putting your Bats into any push is really annoying. It's like, have you guys ever been playing and somebody plays a Mega Knight and then they play the Bats behind it, and you're like, okay, that would be an easy defense, except for the fact that I have nothing for the Bats. And that's kind of what you want to do with this deck as well, is you just add the Bats to be annoying. We're going to get a lock with the Evo Mortar because he started a slow push, and if they're going to start a slow push, play your Prince on the other side. Don't let them get that slow push value out of it. Go ahead and take advantage of whatever you want. I'm going to play the Bats here. Actually, he's going to probably zap, so I maybe shouldn't have played them on my mortar now that I think about it, but that's okay. Let's go ahead and play defensive mortar because we know a hog rider is coming out. He's going to go in for a really big push here. We're going to let that little prince go down, unfortunately. I think it's just the right play, but then the prince will take out the P.E.K.K.A, which is the hardest part of this deck. Then we can go ahead and log to get rid of all of that. Boom. And then pretty easy defense, honestly. He's going to go in with the hog rider. I'm going to play the offensive mortar just like I show you guys in all of my mortar tutorials, which I'm making another one as we speak, so that is awesome. Let's go ahead and get some evil bats in this, and then let's actually go for a miner on the tower there because the dagger duchess is going to be out of ammo, and the dagger duchess sucks. And then we're going to get the prince on the tower. That is amazing. This is why the deck is so strong. When you get that prince, the mortar, the miner going, you're going to clap, kids. But that's a good win, so let's go on into the next. All right, you guys, for our next matchup, we're going to be using Mortar EGIANT, and I know what you guys are thinking. You guys are thinking, Benny, that is crazy. Benny, you have joined the dark side. That is messed up. And I hear you guys, and I don't disagree. But what I will say is that Mortar EGIANT has been in the meta for a while, okay? And for a while, I mean like the last 2 seasons. And it's actually working very well. So I don't know why. I don't know why this has suddenly happened, but it's crazy. And again, we're not using Dagger Duchess because Dagger Duchess is trash, and we are against that. And honestly, we have to take every chance we get to hate against Dagger Duchess because Dagger Duchess was so annoying in the meta, guys. So, you know, we don't want to play it for as much as we can. He's going to play the Tombstone, and he's got the Ice Wizard as well, which is kind of an annoying thing to deal with. I don't know why he went for the Bridge Bowler there. We're just going to play the Prince to the side. Now, guys, don't be like this guy, okay? Especially if you're playing Mortar, all right? You guys are Giga Chads with big-ass brains, so, you know, just try to remember that, you know, you don't want to just spam stuff at the bridge. 90% of the time, it's not going to work. And think about it for yourself as well. Unless you know that they're super low on elixir, which I wasn't, like, it's not hard to defend stuff that's spammed at the bridge. It's not at all. And I see so many people do it. I'm going to play a defensive E-Giant here. And the reason why I'm doing that is because he has the Baby Dragon out of rotation, which means that, you know, one of his ranged counters are out of rotation, and he's going to have to use the Tombstone there. Let's get the Phoenix behind, and then what we can do is we can Tornado his counters. Why? Okay, let's go ahead and Void here. We should catch the Bowler and nothing else, and get some good damage on it, and then we might be able to get a connection with the tower. We're going to force out his Evo Knight, which is really good. I'm very happy about that. I'm not worried at all at this point. And then we can go ahead and play the Skellies right here just to get the Evo Knight buff down and get rid of all of that. And that is the perfect defense. I'm happy with where we are right now. Now, the go-to with this deck, there's a couple different ways you can play it, okay? You can use the Mortar to pressure just like a normal Mortar deck, and then take the opportunity to play the E-Giant if you want. Another way you can play it is you can play the Prince in the back and then try to get an E-Giant in front of it. And then, you know, the third way is playing like 2 lanes at the same time. And I would caution you against playing 2 lanes at the same time, because with Mortar is one of those decks that you're not going to just, like, you know, take a tower really easily, right? So you want to be careful with that. Let's go ahead and start an E-Giant in the back. I know you guys are thinking, like, Benny, what are you doing? Why would you start an E-Giant in the back? Just trust me. We're trying to kind of stop everything in this lane, and we're going to go for a crazy tornado here in a second. So he's going to go in for the graveyard. Let's go ahead and just tornado everything for the Demolisher there for a second, and then we'll just play the Prince right here. Because we have the Princess and not Dagger Duchess, it's actually very easy to take care of all of that. Now we're going to go for the Mortar in the opposite lane. I know I said be careful doing that, but because he's playing so much in this lane, we want to go for the Mortar opposite lane. And that's one of the things that I would definitely recommend you guys do when you're playing against Graveyard specifically, is if they're playing a ton of cards in the same lane constantly and really plugging that lane up, go ahead and change lanes up on them so that they can't play that Bowler anymore. Now we do have our Evo Skeletons, so we could try to go for a play without those. Let's just kind of wait. I think I'm going to start an E-Giant in the back on this side. We're going to start a slow push, and he's going to play a really bad Tombstone, so that's going to be really hard for him to deal with. And then he's going to go for the Evo Knight. Let's just wait and see what he does. I'm going to Mortar on this side. Let's go ahead and play our Evo Skellies right here, and then hopefully the Evo Skellies go off. Yes, they will. He's going to go for a Tornado. I'm going to Tornado the graveyard off of my tower just to deal with that, and then let's go ahead and play the Demolisher here. Let's get a Void right here on the Tombstone just to get rid of it so that we can get a connection on the tower with the E-Giant. And then at this point, we really want to spam. Oh, that Bowler got hit as well, so we're going to go for the Knight on the opposite side. Phoenix is on the tower. This guy's getting absolutely cooked. He has to defend that left side, and he's going to ignore the Prince on the right side. And that is going to be a nice win because the Graveyard guy, he can only play 1 lane. So that's going to be a good game. Let's give him a good game. Let's give him a good luck, and let's go right on into the next deck. All right, guys, for our next matchup, we are using Mortarbait, and I bet you guys thought that we weren't going to be playing Mortarbait. I bet you guys were thinking, Benny, usually Mortarbait is the first deck you show us. What's going on? No, I tricked you guys. We are going to be playing Mortarbait, and that's for a couple reasons. One, Mortarbait always reigns supreme. That's the circle of life. You can nerf Mortarbait for a little bit, bit, but she always comes back. But also the other thing is, you know, I wanted to give you guys a deck for people who don't have some of the new cards leveled up, which is totally fair. In fact, I think you're better than I am when it comes to that, because, you know, why level them up? Supercell sucks, and they're looking for money from us. So, you know, that's one thing. But also then on top of that, Dagger Dutch just got nerfed, and so you're going to see Princess Tower a lot more, which is a blessing in disguise. Honestly, I love playing against Princess Tower. The interactions are just better, and you know what? Mortarbait is so much better against Princess Tower and Cannoneer. If you get a Cannoneer matchup, oh my goodness, like that's got to be, that is a cause for celebration. So, you know, it's definitely worth using Mortarbait because of that, and you know, it's a deck that you guys can use if you don't have the new cards leveled up. This guy has Healer and Monk, which is actually crazy. So we're gonna play our Little Prince for the healer, and then he's probably going to use the Monk ability to counter our Little Prince. And so at that point, it's just a question of whether we pop the LP ability to keep it alive, or we let the Monk do its thing. Okay, there's the ability, so let's go ahead and pop the LP ability now. Hopefully we stay alive. It does suck though, it's playing or it was alive. The Little Prince got its shooting ability up right away, so we weren't able to really keep it alive, but that's okay. We're just going to play the Knight and a Poison on that pump there, and you know what, honestly, that's definitely a very good move in my opinion, because we don't, judging by this guy's deck, it's going to be the absolute most crazy mid-ladder beatdown setup ever. Yeah, he's going for a slow push. He didn't care about that damage. He's going to pump in the back, so I'm going to go ahead and Evo Mortar on this side. And the reason why I'm doing that is because I don't want him to build up a massive push, and he played the healer on that side, so he's going to have to play the Monk to counter it if he wants to. We are going to get a lock, so then we can go ahead and play the Evo Knight right here, and we're just waiting for that massive push to come out. Let's go ahead and Skelly Barrel on this side as well, because this guy's annoying as hell, and again, I don't want him to build up a massive push, and if he does, if he takes one tower, that's fine. He's got the, oh my gosh, I can't believe it's this deck. This guy is trying to use the meme deck against me, guys. What is going on here? Okay, let's pop the LP ability. The defensive Mortar should do a very good job of taking out the healers. Oh my god. Okay, how are we going to defend this? Because we don't have Fireball. Let's go ahead. Let's pull everything. When you're playing against a healer deck like this, you just want to pull them as far as you can away from each other. And not overcommit with Elixir or anything. So let's go ahead. Let's do this. Let's get the LP right here. And then I might just play the Mortar to kite that E-Dragon so that it doesn't get on the tower. Let's pop the LP ability as well because it's good splash damage. But that's going to be a win. I don't know who this guy thinks he is, but that was pretty crazy. So let's give him a good game. Let's give him a good luck, and let's go into the last deck. Alright, you guys, for our last matchup, we're going to be running Mortar Graveyard. And I'm going to be running my version of Mortar Graveyard that uses the bats and the skeletons, but you can use the Phoenix and Guards version instead if you want to swap those two cards out. But there's one thing, and I know what you guys are thinking. I know you guys are thinking right now, Benny, Graveyard sucks because of Goblin Curse, but I got news for you guys. Graveyard is actually cracked right now because of the Goblin Curse. You guys just have to trust me and just see, but it's absolutely broken the way that it works. Now this guy, he's gonna pop the Little Prince ability there, which was kind of crazy. I'm gonna go ahead and play my bats on this side, and then I'm gonna, oh my god, we messed up the Mortar. That's crazy. See, he has Goblin Curse, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly why Mortar Graveyard is still crazy. We did mess up our Mortar placement, so thank goodness that he played a counter to it so that it's not wasted Elixir. It's too bad, because if we got it properly, we'd probably get some damage out of it, but that's okay. But so what you guys do with this deck is you play the Graveyard, and then if they Goblin Curse, you play the Goblin Curse as the counter, and then what happens is his goblins, or you know, whatever counters they play with the Goblin Curse, it'll die to your Goblin Curse, and that's crazy. It is so strong. Let's go ahead and play the skeletons right here to take this out. He's going to use the arrows, so we can just play the bats, and then we can actually even, oh my goodness, okay, that's crazy. Okay, we might take a little bit of damage there, but that's okay. We're going to get the Mortar lock, so we're going to get more damage out of it than he did, which is nice. So that is good. And then I'm going to try not to counter the Little Prince. I hope that we don't have to, at least. And then okay, he's going to go ahead and pop the Little Prince ability, which is kind of crazy. So we're going to Evo Knight here. Let's do that. Ooh, we shouldn't have played those skeletons there. That was a bad play. I wasn't expecting that Goblin Curse, but that's okay. And then we can let those go down. Let's wait, and then let's actually go in with a Graveyard here. He's cooked. I don't know how he's going to defend it. He's going to have to wait to zap and then arrows, so he'll take some decent damage if he does that. But that's going to be tower down. That's crazy. I really hope he doesn't give up, because I'd like to show you guys the perfect example of the Goblin Curse working in this. Let's go ahead and play the Mortar, and we're going to get a Mortar lock. So this guy's he's probably going to build up a pretty big push here, if I had to guess. Now let's go ahead and play the defensive Poison. If the Goblin Demolisher has to get on my tower, I'm okay with that. Let's go ahead and play the Knight right here. Keep that Little Prince alive as long as possible. And then let's play some skeletons here. Let's go ahead and Goblin Curse right on top of his. And then I'm actually going to play Poison as well, just to keep that going. And we're going to get some nice goblins out of that. And then Okay, we're gonna cycle to our little prince. That Phoenix is going to get up, but that's okay. And then we can just play the bats. Let's go ahead and get another Goblin Curse down. Holy crap, he's really going in here. Let's play the Knight as well. Beautiful defense, if I do say so myself, though. None of that is getting through, baby. Let's give him a good game, and let's give him a good luck as well. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. And again, guys, thank you so much for 2K. I cannot thank you guys enough. Please let me know if you're able to watch all the way to this point, because I love you guys so much, and I will see you guys in the next one.